Western officials are warning the war in Ukraine could drag on for a long time. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg told a summit in Brussels, quote, "We need to prepare for the long term because the war could last for months or years." Russia is focusing on Ukraine's east and making slow progress. The Kremlin has added more than 10,000 troops to its ranks on the front lines in recent days. For more, I want to bring in retired Army Major John Spencer. He is the chair of Urban Warfare Studies with the Madison Policy Forum. And Major, thank you for joining us. What is behind this warning by Western leaders, their assessment that the war could potentially last for years?
So I think it's a definition of war. As long as Putin is in charge of Russia, I think he'll always basically say that Ukraine doesn't deserve to exist as a sovereign nation, and he'll be a threat to the global order. I don't agree that the war as we're seeing it today will continue for years. This war will be decided over the next couple of weeks and next couple of months.
So it's just, you think, a matter of semantics. Technically the war will not last for years. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, so the war was already won, the war for Ukraine. Russia couldn't take Kyiv. It had to. But the conflict along the border, I think Russia, no matter where the line gets drawn, will always contest it. So where do you draw the line of when the war ends? There's definitions for that and definitions that we teach for that. But the war that's going on today ends soon. Russia can't keep up the pace that it's doing right now. It's losing too much, too many generals, too many forces. Something will change soon. And that's what I wanted to ask you. How can we expect Russia's strategy to shift in the coming days or weeks? Yeah, this is the hard, right? So Russia, Putin is not just going to wake up tomorrow morning and say, okay, I was wrong and I'm leaving Ukraine. So that's the real question is, where does he decide to end this? I mean, all war is politics by other means. This ends with a political settlement. Some people believe that he may mobilize Russia for war. I personally don't think he can do that, but that would open up a lot more, calling up the reserves, using more stockpiles. But Russia showed the world that they're not a superpower. And there's 4 forms of national power, and there's 40 nations, and it's growing against Russia. So diplomatic power, economic power, it's all having an impact. So what Russia can or can't do next changes every day. And what about, U.S., NATO, the allies? What needs to be done from that side to stop Russia's invasion in advance? Right. So I think what's happening, even as of today, you saw a U.S. delegation visiting Kyiv. That amount of support, basically we're going to outsupply Russia. We're going to give Ukraine the greatest weapons in the world to fight for their freedom. There's a couple systems that I wish would be put on the battlefield now, but the artillery is changing this war immediately. It already is. But there is a range. You think of an artillery, depending on the round, goes about 18 miles. If you were to put a multiple launch rocket system like the HIMARS into that battle, it would significantly change in Ukraine's favor. Although Ukraine has all the initiative now, Ukraine's winning. You're talking about specific weapons that could be used, but what else should the U.S. be doing to help Ukraine at this moment? I mean, I think what we're doing, continue to be the world leader in garnering support, because this isn't the U.S. and Ukraine. This is 40 nations, so there could be harder sanctions imposed, and the right people are talking about that, at a higher level, whether that's the EU, whether that's the UN, you name it. What Russia is doing is upsetting the global order, so the world can be doing more. Major John Spencer, thank you so much for your time. Thank you.